To a GMA3 exclusive, we have a first look at the results from a new 538 Ipsos poll on vaccines in children, revealing new insight into the mental well-being of kids around the country and how they feel about getting vaccinated. The poll not only surveyed American parents with children under 18, but also the kids themselves, age 5 to 17. So let me bring in now infectious disease specialist and ABC News medical contributor, Dr. Todd Ellerin. Dr. Ellerin, good to have you here with us. And let me start with getting your thoughts on this. A poll that finds that white kids were less scared of COVID than black and Hispanic kids. And these findings made no difference based on income brackets. What do you make when you hear something like that?
Well, TJ, COVID has really highlighted the inequities with respect to race and community of color. Let's face it, black and Hispanic adults and children have really taken the brunt of severe COVID illness. So it makes sense that these black and Hispanic kids would be more anxious about COVID than white kids.
And Dr. Ellerin, the poll also found, and I found this interesting because we talk so much about the impact the pandemic has had on kids and their mental health, but 538, this Ipsos poll found that kids were generally happy. Over 90% of kids reported that their mental and physical health, their relationships, overall state is good or very good. What does that tell you?
Well, I think this is very promising, and I think it highlights the resiliency and the optimism of our children. Let's face it, they really look at the world with the glass half full. But remember, there's still a lot of anxiety and mental health issues when it comes to children. So if you're a parent and you are seeing your kids struggling, remember there are resources there, and one of the first ones can be talk to your pediatrician about that.
All right, so of course, we have you here. We're going to use you as a resource and let some of the parents ask questions directly. First, I have a question here from Heather in Wisconsin. Let's take a look and listen.
My husband and I are fully vaccinated. I have 3 young children, and I just got the 7 and 5-year-olds vaccinated. When can I expect authorization for my 2-year-old to receive the vaccine?
Heather, that authorization should come really soon. We're thinking probably early 2022 for the Pfizer vaccine in that 2 to 4 age group. But I really want to commend you on vaccinating yourself, your husband, and your kids who are eligible, because really you're protecting your youngest, most vulnerable child. We call that cocooning. So good for you. It gives your family the best chance at prevention of COVID.
All right, cocooning. I like when y'all drop those medical terms in there on us, Dr. Ellerin. Another question here from Lance in Indiana says, why is the focus on vaccinations and not the other treatment options?
Well, the good news is that treatment options are around the corner with these antivirals. But remember, the most important preventative measure is getting your vaccine. So we want to think of these not as an either or. We want to attack this virus with prevention and then the therapeutic measures, as we'll see right around the corner.
Another question here from Matt in California, another parent. Take a look and listen, and you pick it up on the other side.
My son, who is epileptic, is prone to seizures. So we were wondering what vaccine we should use. And we're wondering when the Johnson & Johnson and Moderna vaccines will be approved for children.
Okay, so Matt, I'm glad you're thinking about getting your son vaccinated. Right now, there's only one vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, that's been authorized for kids. So would run out and get him vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine as soon as possible. As far as Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, the Moderna vaccine in that 12 to 17 group is really being looked at by the FDA right now. They're really looking to make sure that it's safe in this population, really under a lens of safety. They want to make sure there's no excess risk of myocarditis cases. So that should be sooner than later. I would say we'll be hearing from the FDA sort of late this year or early next year. As far as the J&J vaccine for kids, they're still in clinical trials, which just began this fall. So that will be coming later.
And Dr. Ellerin, another one here from Sonia in California. It's not one I'd heard anyone ask before. What do we know about the long-term effects of the vaccine in relation to puberty?
Well, Sonia, I'm glad you've asked that. I want you to remember that billions of people around the world have received this vaccine, and millions of kids, not just in the United States, but around the world, have already received the COVID vaccines. There is no relationship between the COVID shot and any problems with hormones or fertility or concerns about puberty. So far, these vaccines look extremely safe. The most important thing to do is make sure that your teenager gets vaccinated.
All right, a big thanks to all of those parents for sending those questions in to us. We'll try to get more and more answered, of course, as we continue along our way. Dr. Ellerin, we appreciate you hopping in for us today. Appreciate it.
You bet, TJ.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.